Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain's Video Log. We are Thursday, December the 15th, 2016. It's almost 2 a.m., which is pretty fucking early for, since all the others, yeah, I'm not too proud of that. So, the new YouTube app, boy howdy, they're gonna have to do a little bit of a fix in the next few updates, because holy shit, this is quite possibly one of the worst versions I've had the honor to have between my hands, between the server errors every fucking time you do something a little too fast, to sometimes the videos not even loading the description and the comments and all that, to the uploads, that sometimes, for example, yesterday's video blog that was uploaded, actually finished, the upload was finished, was done tonight at 11 p.m. I mean, I lost 4 hours on it because I fell asleep on it, and I was using another app, but still, at the very beginning of the upload, I lost 3% of upload, like it was up 4%, and then I look again, it's down to 1%, and then later, way later, when I was sure that it had advanced a bit, it was up to 45 or 55%, and then I looked again, like half an hour later, and it was down to 30%, and I was like, okay, so that's a bit weird, huh? Was a little bit pissed about that, to be quite honest. So yeah, gonna have to wait for a little patch, because I'm just not gonna uninstall all the updates up until now, to go back to the original version of the app until the new version is out. Would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? A bit extreme for what it is. I mean, it's still a bit complicated to install the apps, because I always have to delete the update of Facebook, of the Google Play services, even sometimes Google Maps. One point I'll have to do that with Google Chrome, because yeah, heavy apps at the end of 2016. Jesus. So yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Anyway, Triple H was in the UK today, in London exactly, to promote something, but what was it? Well, it's the UK Championship Tournament. Oh boy! Now British wrestling has been, on the looking up for the past like couple of years. It's one of the probably fastest growing markets right now, because well, the previous generation is the one to have been taken off TV, and the current one has been forced to export itself, before the rise of ICW, Progress, maybe even Rev Pro. So yeah, it's really good that now WWE is interested in that. They are saying that it's not an answer to ITV renewing World of Sport. So yeah, I mean, maybe we can believe that, because WWE is a big company, and it's known that big companies really move slow. So yeah. Also, because there's been concerns about that, they have booked already the current ICW and Progress champions to their tournament. So yeah, there was concerns about big names not being able to, well, big names, maybe even smaller names not being able to do bookings in the UK, because they would have the WWE UK exclusive show, and actually apparently they're going to be able to still honor those kind of bookings. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, there's going to be a tournament like early January, yeah, or early February. Actually, I don't remember. And it's going to be in Blackpool. It will be on the network, commentated by Michael Cole, who's actually pretty good when it's not on TV, as was shown on Beast in the East. and he will be assisted by Nigel McGuinness. Oh, so yeah, they just waited for him to be out of Ring of Honor, I guess. Yeah, it's good. You know, I liked Nigel McGuinness is one of the students of the craft, the better students of the craft that there are in the whole industry, and it's good to have a really UK voice to a man who knows the environment to commentate. It just will bring more legit could you say more legit look to the whole thing. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Then there will be a weekly network exclusive show with only the UK division, I guess it will be called. And it's still feel a bit miffed that a guy like Neville hasn't been considered in that tournament. Same as for the cruiserweight division. So yeah. Anyway, on to NXT. So NXT, I'm gonna have a lot to talk about, concerning the matches. All 5 matches were technically solid. It's more about what it entails next that I would want to talk about. So yeah, the first match was the Melbourne cage match for the NXT title between Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Usually, in house shows, you have a title match. That's kind of the thing, but the title doesn't change hands, or maybe it does, like with the World Tag Team titles in 2008. When Miz and Morrison won it from Kofi and CM Punk, and when more recently when Samoa Joe won the title from the NXT title from Finn Balor. So yes, that still can happen. It's a selling argument as any other one. So yeah, the match in itself wasn't bad. It was not as overbooked as the Osaka one. It just wasn't. It was telling the story of this rivalry being put to an end. At one point, Nakamura, there was the whole thing with Nakamura and Joe being tired because of the jet lag and having to fight, so early after coming from Japan. And still making the rounds in Australia, because Australia, a pretty huge country, you wouldn't believe that. So yeah, they were obviously physically not 100%, but they gave it their own. Nakamura at one point went onto the top turnbuckle and gave a Kinshasa to Joe, and Joe was down for the count, but Nakamura looked like he would walk out of the cage door. He didn't do it, actually. He decided that no, that's not how I'm gonna win. I'm gonna lay him out, I'm gonna pin him, and I will be the NXT champion once and for all. So that's what he did with a Kinshasa, one last Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3, and Joe is out of the title picture, obviously, because he's not involved in any of the 4 other matches of the night, and therefore not in the Fatal 4-Way of next week. Obviously that kind of means that Joe is due for a call-up, because I don't see him sticking around just to, for example, disrupt the match at TakeOver San Antonio. It would be weird. So yeah, I just hope that they, in the main roster, they manage to not just make him another huge dude, because Joe is one of the big names, that came to NXT, one of the bigger names, because he was on Ring of Honor, he was on TNA, so yeah, he was an established name for the fans of wrestling that knew more than WWE. There was AJ Styles, sure, but there was also Samoa Joe, at least for the ones who only watched US wrestling. And Nakamura will obviously be champ until, well, I don't know, maybe he will be dethroned as early as NXT San Antonio, Takeover San Antonio. Who knows? It will be by one of the 4 men who won the next few matches. But before that, so yeah, NXT was then back to Full Sail. Backstage little thing where the iconic duo Peyton Royce and Billie Kay were completely like, no, we didn't lose the match in Ottawa. It was Daria Berenato. We made a huge mistake by taking her with us and all that. And Daria arrived and she was pretty pissed. So she was like, huh, I'm a loser. So yeah, we'll see. Any one of the, you have a little talk between the both of you, and anyone who wants, come at me. That was pretty much a challenge, her challenge, the way she laid it out to Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Turns out that it's going to be Billie Kay. Thanks, Peyton. But still, Royce will be in her corner, so yeah, it's still the numbers game. Can have just a really clean match with those two. Will be next week. And I'm actually looking forward to see if with her more shoot style, MMA style, Daria can counter the more vicious side of the Australian superstars. We'll see. But actually, they say that on the show in Sydney, I think. They don't want to be called to be built from Australia. They want to be built from Orlando, Florida. Maybe it was just a heel move for Australia. Maybe they will still be built from Australia in NXT when it's in Full Sail. I don't know. Really don't know. We'll see. So anyway, the only surprise of the night was in the first match, the first qualifying match. Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young. Eric Young had Sanity with him, obviously. The match was really short, like all 4 matches were actually pretty short. So yeah, Alexander Wolf went onto the ring apron to try to interfere or at least distract Dillinger for Young to bust a move, but no, he got dropped off the ring apron by Dillinger, and yeah, that pretty much prompted Nikki Cross to attack him from behind, jumped on his back, and therefore Young was disqualified and eliminated. Then they tried to do 3-on-1, but it didn't work. Young and Wolf were dumped off the ring, and Nikki Cross flung herself through the ropes. Actually, she was trying to jump on Dillinger, but yeah, Dillinger just had to step aside, and she went through the ropes onto Wolf. I hope, because she was actually going pretty fast. Dillinger looked that like he had won, so he was still a bit shocked that he had won that way. But then Damo attacked him for so it's a bit weird because Damo doesn't look like he is aligning himself with Sanity, but then again he still attacks the people who are against Sanity. He attacked him with the Wasteland, Wade Barrett's first finisher, and then did a senton. So yeah. So Dillinger is the first man qualified for the Fatal 4-Way of next week, which is a bit weird because originally William Regal talked about the show on the 11th of January, which is 4 weeks from now. So he would have had each week starting this week there would have been one match. So but for some reason they didn't want that to happen that way. It was a bit weird. So yeah, after that, not really any surprise. Andrade Cien Almas won in a pretty stark opposition of styles against No Way Jose. Yeah, I'm saying pretty stark because No Way Jose went back to his more brawlers kind of wrestling. He says that there's a fiesta and all that, but at the end of the day, he's very in your face compared to Andrade Cien Almas, who is very cocky and yet very lucha libre Yeah, you know when he's hanging between the ropes, like, hey. Uh, but yeah, I mean, this heel turn looks like it's doing wonders for Almas's character, because I mean his face character was just really going nowhere, and it was a bit sad because he's full of talent. You know, you just don't have La Sombra drop the mask and you make him go to the WWE. You just don't do it without you know, feeling something about him. So yeah, I'm really glad that Andrade Cien Almas at least is considered in a title feud, even though it's pretty obvious that he's not gonna win. But still, you know, it was fine. It was a good match. Yeah, cannot really say anything about it. The following match was Roderick Strong, who is actually one of the favorites for the whole thing. Roderick Strong against Elias Sampson, the Drifter, who still cannot sing, and I think that it's a really good thing. You know, like I've heard people saying that Luke Harper should look a little bit better to appeal to the front office kind of people, but I'm like, but it's his gimmick to be looking like that. It's his gimmick, you know. He's saying, oh yeah, he doesn't need to leave the white, but he needs to look a little bit cleaner. You don't get it. You really don't. So yeah, same goes for Sampson. He's the Drifter. He shouldn't take singing classes, even though, you know, it's just twisting your ears like you want to say, like, shut up, stop singing, drift away, as they say. So yeah, Elias Sampson can go in the ring. Then again, it wasn't a terribly long match nor really technical one. Roderick Strong took the advantage pretty quickly, was the gutbuster, and then he drove his boot into Sampson's face. Ah, that was nasty, and he picked up the win. So yeah, Roderick Strong, Almas, and Dillinger are 3 out of the 4 men until the main event, pitting Oney Lorcan, who's been impressive in all the matches he's been in, against Bobby Roode. Extra effort to pronounce the "da" at the end of Bobby Roode. Yeah. It was a good match. Oney Lorcan is really great. He can, you know, definitely. I'm pretty sure that he can actually detach your head with an uppercut. It's just those looked really fucking stiff. Actually, his whole offense looks stiff, and it's great. Like I love it. I've been a bit miffed, you know, a bit bummed that there's not going to be a Kinshasa as stiff as the Bomaye on AJ Styles. So I'll have, you know, just a former indie guy, you know, Beef Busick. I hope this was his name on the indies, having people just getting decapitated with uppercuts and just thrown around with the suplexes. But at the end of the day, Bobby Roode took the win. Well, you know, with his it's his thing. He wins. Yeah. So Bobby Roode seems to be the very clear favorite for the Fatal 4-Way. Then again, who knows? No, we never, you know, if it's an elimination Fatal 4-Way, we're never away from a fluke elimination. Could fuel up some rivalries, I guess. Yeah, highlights of the night were Percy Watson. Fuck, I knew I was going to do that one. Percy Watson finally sounding like he stopped sounding like he lived in a cave for the past 4 years. You know, actually talked about Oney Lorcan and his in-ring ability. Talked about, well, the in-ring ability of pretty much everyone. And yeah, that, you know, that it's a pretty huge change for 1 week. But yeah, it's welcome. You know, you just can't have him being like in in wonder every fucking time. And yeah, Tom Phillips is also sick of Byron Saxton. Like Graves was like, NXT is a Byron or Saxton free zone, and Tom Phillips was like, thank God. They are all so unnecessarily mean with him. It's great. I love it. Yeah, no, but really though. Anyway, the Rams are going to lose against the Seahawks, and total non-stop deletion is going to be a thing that happens. And might actually be happening as I speak to you. So, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.